Hello everyone and welcome to the video. This is gonna be a channel update video which I'm gonna talk about the content in the channel and what I believe I should do going forward, what will no longer be in the channel in terms of content. And I also like to stay very transparent and honest with you guys and give you my honest opinion about what I'm doing. So if you're not interested in that type of content, I completely understand, but I would like to let you know what's gonna happen with the channel going forward. I just came back from a holiday and I have plenty of stuff to say, and let's just say most of it won't be positive regarding Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I don't like the way they're doing things right now, and I absolutely hate the meta right now. As you know, if you've been playing Master Duel during the past couple of weeks, Malice is now tier 0 deck and we're entering a tier 0 meta again, which is absolutely disgusting. And I'm gonna rant about this for a little bit before we go over the channel update, because usually my idea was just to go over the channel, but this is absolutely disgusting and I hate this because Konami is literally milking people for money and they don't care about their game. I'm just saying it how it is, and I think this is the best way to describe the situation. Malice is absolutely broken right now in the game, and it's completely Konami's fault, right? They release the deck, they don't give any limitations, they don't ban anything, they don't limit anything, and the meta in Master Duel is way less powerful than in TCG and OCG. So what happened? Well, Malice became an absolute menace of a deck, and now it is completely taking over the game again. We're entering another tier 0 format again, and what I hate about this so much is the fact that Konami purposefully does that. In order to make the most amount of money, they just release whatever they know is gonna be broken, they make it super expensive with resilient URs, and that's it. That's all they care about, which sucks. And I think this is not healthy for the player base, not healthy for the game. I've been talking about this many times, and it's continuing to get worse. For some time I thought that it might get better, they might start to care about the player base at least a little bit and try to make the game a little bit more fun and better, and maybe introduce new players to the game with some older formats and stuff that I've talked about in the past, right? But apparently this is not going to happen. All that they're going to do is continue to release the next best deck, make you spend more money, then nerf it till it's out of existence. And during the next couple of sets, you will see, bro, you will see, during the next couple of sets and bans and limits, the deck will become less and less powerful, and the new ones are gonna come, and you're gonna need to buy the next big thing, and then it's gonna go on and on and on until you buy every single new deck, and then you play it, gets nerfed, and then until you get bored, basically, right? That's what I hate about the game. I think the game has become a complete joke right now, and I am very much dissatisfied with the game. I am slightly burnt out from the game, by the way, and I've been saying this for the past couple of months that I've been slightly burnt out, but this is now disgusting, right? It's not about whether you're gonna play the deck or not. It's more so the fact that I personally like playing a lot of meme decks and like cool decks, trying to improve them, like Ninjas, Infernoble, all of my favorite old school archetypes and all that. The problem is, it doesn't matter what you do and what you play if you only lose, right? This is the unfun part of the game. I make content about some cool funny decks that you can try out and have fun with, but it's not gonna be fun when you lose 5 games in a row to the same deck that is top tier, right? So this is disgusting. I don't like this, and it's turning into a complete joke. I'm trying so hard to actually enjoy my time playing the game, and I like making content about Master Duel. I want to tell you that much. I really like Yu-Gi-Oh! And making content about it, but it's just so difficult to like the game nowadays because Konami makes it worse and worse, and there isn't even anything new coming to the game in terms of modes. All they care about is just temporary mode. Here you have it, just for like 2 days, 3 days, a week, and that's it. And then you go back to playing the shitty format that we built because we want to milk you for money. That's all they do, and I absolutely hate this, and I am not supporting this, okay? I just want to clarify. I think this is disgusting. I'm not supporting this, and I'm not interested in even playing the game if I'm being completely honest, all right? I really want to make content about the game, but the only way for me to actually feel like it's enjoyable and fun is if I play in some older school format or playing against, like, you know, people who do the same thing, kind of a, you know, custom mode gameplay or whatever, like a mini game or older format series or something like that. This is what many players do to actually enjoy the game, and content creators typically create content regarding that because meta wise it's just completely stupid and it's ridiculous, and I think almost no one likes that. And yeah, I mean, it's really difficult for me to enjoy the game, and a lot needs to change in my opinion. And it's not just the content in my channel here. I believe that the whole game's longevity is at stake here, and if they continue to do this, things will get so much worse and a lot more players will quit the game. Not to mention, if you haven't noticed, barely any new players coming to Master Duel in general, alright? The reason for that is because no one is starting the game as a new player because it's disgusting. They can learn it and they can improve in it when they just queue up during the first 10 minutes of playing the game online against a top tier deck and then just get blasted and they don't learn anything and all that. This is another topic for another video. I've already talked about this. What I hate about it is the fact that even long-term players are not having a good time at this point. It's ridiculous. I'm a long-term player and I think this is absolute shit and I hate this and I don't want to be part of this. I thought that we're going in a better direction maybe sometime, but it doesn't seem like it. So yeah, enough of me ranting. Let's go over the content's updates. Now, as of the content, one thing that I like to do with the channel throughout the year is basically go for different arcs with the channel and try out different things throughout the year and make one thing available during some period of time and then make another thing available during later periods. So it gets a little more interesting and not repetitive, right? And one thing that I introduced recently was live streaming. I live streamed quite a bit, but one thing I want to say right now, I think that streaming in general hurts me a little bit when it comes down to the content, because the primary goal of this channel is videos, right? It's videos, and basically editing them is a big deal for me. I want to have a highly well edited video, and what I notice is that the more I stream, the less good my videos are in terms of editing skills, because I don't have much time to put into editing when I have to stream and I have to record content and when I have other stuff to do, right? So it's getting a little overwhelming. Even though I don't personally want to quit streaming, for the time being I will not be streaming as much, or at all, basically, because I would like to create better content for you guys and edit a little bit better the videos so it feels like an actual video and feels a little more organized and high quality, right? So one thing that I notice is when I stream and I want to make gameplay videos, oftentimes I just want to get it done as soon as possible, because I've been streaming during the previous day about the new pack and now we gotta have a video until tonight and all that. Now another thing also is the fact that when I make a video, I like to give you guys not only entertainment but also value and essentially present some information that I believe is useful to you guys. And sometimes what happens is that information gets a little bit wrong, because I simply don't have the time to test everything and I just go with whatever I feel like, but then I realize that some of the things might be wrong, and that happens due to simply not having enough time to analyze things, right? My latest Crystron video was a perfect example of that, where I talked about how to build the perfect Crystron deck, and I ended up saying that you don't need small engines, and I felt like a pure version would be better, but then I realized that I was slightly wrong. Not because you cannot play it as a pure version, but because playing small engines would be better, right? So I ended up just making a small mistake there, and even though I tried to clarify it later on, it just wasn't cool for me, the fact that I wasn't able to provide the perfect information possible, and the reason for that is simply due to time, right? And for that reason I will not be streaming for the next couple of weeks / month too, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I will return back to streaming, but that's what I want to do for now. And I also want to mention my Master Awakening series, which is my favorite thing to make live stream content about, and I definitely had a wonderful time there, and the main goal was to essentially teach you guys how to build a new account and make it better in the ways I do it, and maybe you can learn something from it, right? So that was a cool idea. I wanted to help out new players learn the game, and I think even though I haven't technically completed the final challenge, which is hitting master rank, I done what I had to do, right? I did build a pretty cool account, we built a couple of decks, and I showed you guys how I personally improve my accounts and make them better and all that. And even though I haven't reached master rank, which was the final goal technically, I feel like it doesn't really matter anymore, because master rank, let's just face it, isn't the most difficult thing to reach at all, but you do need to spend hours upon hours upon hours of playing the game. And I'm gonna tell you this, I feel so frustrated when I play the game now because of the meta, and the fact that I get burnt out the more I play the game just goes to show that I don't personally enjoy playing the game as much, even though I like making content about it. When it's more so about just grinding out the game, I feel very burnt out and I don't want to play the game long term, right? That's why I want to play something fun or just not spend time grinding the game as much. It doesn't even matter if you reach the highest rank, it's just gonna be pure exhaustion playing game after game, just like the World Championship and the Duelist Cup formats that are actually worse. And I think these formats are probably like the worst thing ever in terms of Master Duel, because it's just super exhausting, super unhealthy. So I don't want to participate in those activities. I feel like not playing the game as much is actually healthier for me personally. So some of the content I'd like to keep in the channel would be building the perfect decks, playing the best versions of a particular deck and trying to perfect it as much as I can. Also some ninja content, of course. I always love to play ninjas when I figure out something fun, or just fun and nice archetypes, finding new ways to play them and just enjoying the game in a little bit of a weird way, kind of a fun, wacky strategies and all that, because that's the content that I personally enjoy making. Now some of the content I will no longer be providing as much would be playing the best decks in the meta, or just meta content content in general. I don't really like the meta, I don't care about it, so I won't make content about it. Also, I will not be covering every single new deck that comes out in the game. I will only cover whatever I find to be fun, because most of the decks that get released I don't personally like. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there are decks that are absolutely disgusting, not even fun to play. I make content about it just because it came out. For example, Arcana Force, let's just take it as an example. This deck is absolutely insane. I don't know how this exists. It's just super stupid way to play the game. And even though Arcana Force as an archetype feels very fun, the way they design it is absolutely disgusting and I don't really like it, so I don't want to make content about it. Of course, it just doesn't feel enjoyable and fun. Other content that I will no longer be introducing would be stuff like new player guides, because unfortunately there aren't very many new players coming to the game due to Konami's stupidity and making the game harder and harder without giving them any way to actually start and learn it. And also something that I would like to introduce in the channel going forward is slowly zooming out and making content about the card game genre as a whole, and even variety gameplay content, not just Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. For obvious reasons that I already stated, even though I like the game, I feel like the way they're doing things is just not healthy. These were some of the things that I wanted to talk about with you guys, and I know that for some of you these are not gonna be wonderful news, but unfortunately I can't put up with Konami's BS anymore because it's just disgusting and I think they're ruining their own game. So I wanted to take some measures and change some things. Of course, if you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, like and subscribe will be greatly appreciated. Also check out more Master Duel content, and I will see you guys next time.